Good morning from Nelson Bay. Another beautiful day here in the Hunter region. For those following on at home, we have the bronze medal match of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championship Division 2. We have Hills, based in New South Wales, versus Sassafras from the ACT. You're joined in the commentary booth by me, Millicent Crowe, and Chris Folkes.
Good morning, Millicent. Yes, it's bronze medal match, exciting times. Both teams will want to finish the tournament on a win. It's always good to win your last game, even better to win with a medal.
Yes, it's always the bronze medal match is a tough game because you want to win your last game so you can take away the dirty gold.
Oh, it feels so good going home with that win, with that medal. Here we go. Pull goes up by Andal. Disc will be picked up by Sassafras. Oh, it's going out, so Max Stenstrom has indicated a brick.
Fairly still conditions here today in Nelson Bay. There's a little bit of a breeze, but doesn't really affect the throwing conditions at the moment.
Max coming up here. Disc is in. Throws to Alex Sanger. Back to Max Stenstrom. Nice around throw to Lorna Barr. Upfield. Liz Eady with the disc now, back to Max Stenstrom. Across to Hutto. Max making a nice popping cut from behind, back to Liz Eady. Great handle movement here by Sassafras. Oh, Max through, piercing that cup. Great score by Sassafras. They'll be really happy with how they played that first point. Sassafras 1, Hills 0.
Always important to hold your first point of the first game. Can be a bit nerve-wracking when you start, but both teams have a heap of experience on their side, so they're just going to be taking it like another frisbee game.
That's right. Interesting that Hills came out playing zone the first point, and there's a lot of experience on this Sassafras line, a lot of throwing power. They were able to carve it up, popping through, no fear throws, so they'll be really happy with how he started.
Are you keeping your eye on anyone here on the Hills offense? Who do you expect to be the main playmakers here?
I had a bit of a look at them yesterday, Millie, and one of their games, and they just used their whole team pretty well. I don't think they have any sort of dominant players as such. Everyone was playing really well. They were dishing it around themselves, and various people scoring. So I expect to see a whole team approach. Pull goes up. It's hanging in the wind a little bit, but it's in the field and picked up. Or first look. Oh, close bit there by Gonzalez. Another close bit again. Just still with Hills. Chris Scammell the disc here, back in field. Oh, low throw, unlucky. Great bid, unlucky. Just dropped there by the Hills player. And we're having a stoppage here. Pick called.
For those following at home, you can follow on with the hand signals. The pick is a nice sort of strong person signal.
Two arms outstretched, 90 degrees. Liz Eady doing the handler duties here. Nice handler moving from behind. Looking for a dump. Great defensive pressure there by Hill, shutting that down. Chris Scammell with a D. Brendan Walsh here going to pick the disc up for Hills. Chris Scammell in the dump position, gets a nice swing across. Good downfield marking there, and another close bid there by Gonzalez. This goes up, goal.
Scammell.
Chris Scammell, no, coming back.
Looks like a pick was called.
Pick called by Matthew Hudson.
You often got to wonder when someone's so open in the end zone whether there'll be a pick call.
Disc is in now. Good defense there by Sassafras.
Big gust of wind that's picked up right here.
Walsh with the disc across the Scammell. Back across to Walsh. Nice inside out break. Oh, and great grab and under pressure there by the Hills player.
Fantastic work by Hills. There was a bit of wind that's picked up halfway through that point, but that didn't seem to affect that play at all. They just adjusted their playing conditions and, kept playing their game.
That's right. That was a nice inside-out backhand throw there. Still leaving the receiver a bit to do, and she grabbed that strong grab under pressure.
What about Gonzalez from Sassafras? She had a couple of points in that game where she almost got that D.
Yeah, very close on 2 or 3 passes, and that's in the same point, the same sequence of play. So I think if she can keep doing that, and the Sassafras can keep putting pressure on those downfield cutters, that pressure will
We're just
eventuate later on.
Just looking here at the turn with those long arms from Scammell and that beautiful pass. Looks like number 7, Anne Catherine Geisler.
Okay, Antdale with the pull here.
Score is 1-1.
Lucy Stevenson doing the handling duties with Chris Stevens, or more affectionately known as Boo Boo. Back to Lucy Stevenson. Bit of a zone now being played by Hills. Here we go, Alex Sanger with the disc. Quick movement. Decides not to pass it back to Lucy. Now he does. Goes for the hug, backhand hug. Lorna Barr, but Dow's in there. Oh, avoids the contact. And yes, that term will stand. Okay, here we go. Back with Hills on offense. And Dow just doing enough there to put Lorna off and made it hard for her to read the disc effectively. Chris Stevens calling the disc in. We got Kai on the offensive disc here. Look for a dump. Back to Ant Dow. There we go. Big forehand huck. Crossfield is just fading to the far side, just a bit too far for the Hills player.
That was Amanda Parker. You wouldn't know it, but she's 5 months postpartum and one of the captains for Hills.
Okay, Kat Hines through to Chris Stevens. Again, a zone being played by Hills. Max Extension through to Lorna Barr, playing a bit shorter now than the previous sequence of play. Back to Chris Stevens. Alex Sangers on the sideline there. Receives a disc. Nice break throw back to Stevens. Stevens to Stevenson. Nice backhand fake through the cup there to Lorna Barr. Decides to throw it back to Lucy Stevenson. Just working around the handlers here. They're working nice use of the full width of the field here by Sassafras. There's a good mark by Kai and a nice break forehand to Lucy Stevenson by Sanger. They've gone to match now. Hills, Alex Sanger with the disc. Nice leading pass there to Kat Hind. Back to Sanger. Now they're being patient again. Back to the handlers. Chris Stevens moving it quickly. Not quite in the end zone. It's very close. Back to Stevenson, Sanger.
Some great patience here from Sassafras.
Yes, that's right. That's how you play against the zone. Chris Stevens with the disc. Nice through the Kat Hind. No, it's not Kat. Alex Sanger with the disc. Lucy Stevenson, Chris Stevens.
Some great defensive pressure here by Hills, forcing, a lot of throws here right on the end zone line.
They're holding them quite effectively, but there we go. Just enough. Got through the cup there. That is Stevenson to Chris Stevens. 2-1 to Sassafras.
And that's a hold.
That is correct. Very patient play there by Sassafras. A lot of experience. They know how to play against the zone.
Yeah, you would think that perhaps with both of the experience on these teams, that the slightly more windy conditions in the zone may assist them and play better with more zone conditions.
That's right. I think it's not too windy. There's a few gusts that come up. Hills have decided, obviously, that the wind is probably just enough to make some of those throws a bit harder. But Sassafras had the experience there and the throwing technique, especially amongst those handlers, to be patient and look for opportunities.
I was having a bit of a chat to the Hills team before we came on, before the game started, and there's 18 kids between them. So
wow.
A lot of them are watching from home and hopefully cheering on your mum and dad.
Okay, pull goes up. Just lands in. Chris Scammell picks the disc up. Sends it to Walsh. Extra pass there. Again, another zone being played by Sassafras. Similar sort of 3-person cup. Let's see if they hold it. Gonzalez again, very close to all these passes. Oh, and again, just over her head. Nice work. Nice work in the zone there through the middle. Now they're exploiting the wing. Nice leading pass down the wing to Tharian. Back across the middle, very close to the end zone line. Sassafras are holding that zone. And finds space there. Again, excellent zone offensive play, this time played by Hills.
This is an exciting game. Everybody's holding their points. There's been no breaks yet. So we'll see. That seemed fairly easy for Hills. They're showing that they also enjoy playing a good zone.
You'd expect both teams to have settled into the tournament by now. It's their last game. They would have played a lot of games up to this point, and the way they've been playing has got them this far. So that's just showing in this game how good the offense is, especially against zone, from both these teams.
There's a slight wind that's picked up here. It's sort of coming in gusts. Which direction would you say the wind is blowing? It was coming, blowing across the field from
near side to far side. I think now it's just coming from the left-hand side of the screen across to the right. It's pretty changeable though, so fairly difficult conditions, but not too strong a wind. Looks like we've got Chris Scammell with the pull here. Disc in the air, signaling that his team is ready. Alex Sanger, hand in the air. Sassafras are ready. Pull goes up. It's a nice pull, quite deep, stays in. Lucy Stevenson. Chris Stevens now with disc in the centre of the field. Nice throw, break there. Great throw by Chris Stevens to Joyce. Nice handler movement there. Nice handler cut by Lucy Stevenson. Another break to Chris Stevens this time, coming under. Big hark forehand, just out. Oh, great. Unlucky Chris Scammell, just out of his reach to Max Stenstrom. Sanger on the disc now. They're very close to the end zone, and there's the score. Again, very clinical offense. This time against the match defense and working break side until Chris Stevens sees the opportunity and throws it long.
That was a perfectly placed throw. Chris Scammell was unlucky not to get a hand to that. So beautiful throw into the end zone as well. Some nice patience. Another easy hold for Sassafras. So Sassafras was just signalling 4 women, so we'll have 4 women on in this point. In the Australian Ultimate Mix scene, we play the ABBA rule, where we have either starting on 4 men or 4 women, and then 2 of each. So you have a go at each gender before you switch, each end zone before you switch over.
So Matthew Hudson with the disc here, he'll be pulling. This goes up. Hills on offense. Dowell the disc. Big forehand throw. Oh, this time Gonzalez finally rewarded for great defensive pressure. She gets in the way, gets the block.
Quick turn by Zab. Sassafras keen to run and gun.
Hutto with the disc. Swings across to Gonzalez. Just a bit high, but reads it well. Edie presenting as always. Alex Young with the disc. Fakes that nice fake with the backhand. Oh, across, just too high for Gonzalez, but who's there? Oh, unlucky Joyce. Just out of reach, unlucky.
That was great field awareness. That throw was not to her, and she was able to read the scene and try and get there.
Walsh, another of those break backhands. Oh, bit of a juggle, but grabs it in the end.
Another pick was called.
Disc is staying with the thrower, Cheryl Lu Hing. Disc is in now. Good throw. Oh, the inside-out throw was attempted, but just behind Dowell there. It's a danger of throwing those insides.
Colloquially known in Newcastle as the turnover throw.
Yeah. Oh, big throw goes up. Lorna Barr's there. Is it too far? Yeah, just too far on that far sideline there. Not sure she's actually expecting that throw.
No, it seemed to go up before she'd even started cutting, and she reacted to the throw.
Walsh, big swing across the Dowell here. Decides against the long option. Throw under, nice under gainer there. Back to Walsh. Decides not to throw. Oh, there's that inside backhand again there. Dowell gets to the end zone. Oh, great D coming through by Liz Eady.
Liz Eady is still one of the superstars of women, well, of Ultimate.
Eady with a disc. Across the Hudson. Give and go there by Eady. Sees it back from Hudson. Looking for a swing. There it comes. Back to Hudson. Across to Alex Young. Looking back in field. Hudson's a good movement. Opening the field up by the Sassafras. There goes the huck. It was to Joyce. It was just too far across the field, and it lands out.
How much would you have said that the wind was playing effect into that?
I think it just took it. Yeah, the wind was just going slightly across the field, and it just took it out of the sideline there. Now, because it went out of the sideline a bit up the field, the Walsh will be bringing it in up the sideline where it went out of the field. Okay, so Hill's on the sideline offense. Across to Dowell. Oh, it's a bit high for him. And Alex Young was the foot race. Lorna Barr receives it in the middle of the field. Looking for a dump. Doesn't have one. But of course, Lidi's there for the reset. Hudson up the line. Back across to Alex Young. Oh, but it goes for the backhand, but Dowell is too wise for that. And he runs deep. Can he get that force? Oh no! Look at the speed of Young. He made up some ground there because I think Dowell had about 10 meters on him at one point.
Young is one of the young players on Sassafras, having represented Australia playing with Thunder.
Yeah, that's right. He's still got pace for days, obviously, youngster. Still got a lot of speed in those legs.
That was great boxing out by him. He's got to be proud of that effort there.
Yeah, good speed.
So can Sassafras convert,
Okay.
calling a timeout?
I think that's a great call by Lizzie there in Sassafras. So it's a long point. I think they just take their time, reset, have a drink, and then come out fresh on offense.
Sassafras have to be happy with that effort there. This is their opportunity to break heels and get up in this game.
That's right. Yep, important point early in the game. If Sassafras can hold now, that'll be a nice break at this early stage.
What do you think Hills need to do?
I think it's just a bit more composure around the disc. They're playing well. They're playing pretty well. There's nothing they need to change that much, I don't think. Just a bit more clinical on offense, a bit more patience.
Would you tend to notice that Sassafras are putting a lot of pressure on the disc and with their marking. So they are making life difficult for the Hills. Yeah,
it's just working hard, running hard, playing good honest defense. To be honest, I think when they're playing that match defense, Sassafras.
Will be interesting to see what they come out and set up as. Whether they'll stick with match defense, come out in zone, see another look that we haven't seen yet. So after a timeout, the offense sets, and then once they are happy in their position, the defense will set up. So that's what's just happening now. Everyone's setting up their defense, and the person near the disc will call the disc in. Looks like Sassafras are coming out in vert stack, and Hills are match defense.
Oh, had a great saving bit there by Alex Young. He realised that he probably had to catch that for Sassafras to retain possession. It was a pick.
That was great recognition. You could see that he slowed down, thought that the disc wasn't coming, and then he was like, get there.
If you can catch it when the pick's been called, always try and catch it. Okay, Young with the disc. Takes the backhand. Forehand dump around. Oh, that's good defense by Hills there on Lazidi. Oh, just too far for Lorna, but that's some great defensive match pressure by Hills, forcing the turnover. Just putting Sassafras outside their comfort zone of wanting to throw breaks and around throws. They shut down those as a team and then force that turn, that hard throw up the line. Okay, now that's a good pick up there by Hills. Cross handler position, Walsh with the disc. He likes that inside up backhand. No, this time just runs and guns. Gets it back. Backhand, oh, just too far. Tried to throw a nice touch throw.
And Liz Eady is running deep. That seems to be slow. Pick up.
This is a great point now. Some good grind. Oh, Hudson, nice throw, break backhand throw there. Young with the disc, cross to Edie. She's back in the handler role now. Hudson with the disc. Now throws that throw again, but just a bit misread by the Sassafras player, and it was much better read by Walsh there from Hills, who could see what was coming and just ran through in between the Sassafras receiver and the disc.
Looks like
Okay, so Walsh with the disc. Match defense by Sassafras, looking for the dump. Across the Dow, they're going backwards here. No, nice big, good grab. Through the center there. Number 1, here we go. It's in the center of the field. Looks a bit clogged. They're working it out now. Walsh back with the disc.
Looks like Sassafras are
nice break forehand, up the field.
Doing a bit of a force middle here.
That's right. As Young Ant to Ant. Patient play here by Hills. Walsh with the disc now. Doing a lot of work early on, Walsh, getting open, resetting, being the linchpin. Dow with the disc now. There goes the throw, high, forehand. And just a difficult one to read by the receiver. Just coming on and over her head. She had to sort of turn around while she was running.
And the wind just seemed to take that disc just a little bit. The wind's got to play an effect in the roll. For those coming at home, it's a bit hard to see what the wind is doing. You can't necessarily feel it there watching on your couch or sipping your cup of tea, but it's very sort of gusty, and it seems to be changing direction as well.
That's right. Okay, familiar face Lazidi now with the disc, brings it in front of her end zone. Lorna Barr presents under. Just good grab. Great defensive pressure there by the Hills player. Hudson again, got the license here. Here we go. Just a little bit too far. Wind just dragged that down in front of the Sassafras player. Horror's being called. Walsh wants a horizontal stack from the upfield players. Here we go across the Dow. Will he throw long? No, just a nice over-the-top throw. Oh, great. That's a great grab under pressure. Edie putting pressure on there. Throws that around, throw. Dow tries the layout. He's a long human being, but even his length couldn't quite propel him to catch that disc.
Yeah, you can really see the effect that the wind is playing on that. That disc just dropped, the wind pushing it down, just out of his reach.
Otto fakes up big throw. There's Edith, nice throws around. Here we go to Lorna Barr. Open up the break side. This is a good play. Back to Edie on the sideline, but being forced back across. No. Just got good grab there. Sam Joyce with the disc. Liz Edie does the reset duties. Young now with the disc, and now Young goes for the throw to Hudson this time. Hudson's going, can he get there? That's a great bid by Hudson. Just out of reach. Oh, let's hope he hasn't hurt himself. I think he's just, I think he's calling an injury. So hands behind the head signify injury there. Pats in the back of the head.
So when an injury is called, player can switch out, but the other team can also choose to switch out a player if they want, which is what is happening downfield. We've got number 42, Joanne McKellar, subbing off, and we've got number 13, Amanda Hudson, subbing on for Hills. Looks like Max Stenstrom for Sassafras is subbing on for Sassafras.
Okay, so the injury was a stoppage, and Max just caught that disc in, so Hills will bring that up. So this is turning into a very important point. It's a long point, and early stage, tough point. Let's see who gets it. Okay, nice break side. Both teams using the break side well, and Dow using his height there just to get a nice backhand over the top away. Nice safe hands by the Hills player there in the middle of the field. Walsh with the disc, wants to throw that backhand break. No, just throws a open side throw to Dow. Dow goes for the forehand throw, and there we go.
Hills hold 3-all.
I think that was coming. It was coming. It's easier. It seems to be a bit easier to score to have hucks that are completed going from right to left at the moment.
How long was that point? It must have been at least 10 minutes. That would have been like huge for Sassafras to keep the Hills offense out there for such a long time.
And that's right. They were disappointed they didn't score. They had opportunities to score. At least 3 or 4 long throws going up just out of reach. But they've got to put that out of their minds and be happy that they have made that Hills O-line run a lot in that point.
We're just seeing the bid there by Hutto. Just looks like it goes through his fingertips. Did he get a touch on it?
Things have been just under his hand there.
Another beautiful huck for the score. And down to Stephen Rocco.
So that is Rocco's known as Young Ant. Apparently in the commentary box last year, one of the commentators referred to him as Young Ant. So that was when Old Ant, if you like, or Ant Dow wasn't playing.
I want to know who the Queen Ant is.
All right, so it's Stevens across to Stevenson here. Back across the boo-boo, nice high release backhand to Lucy Stevenson. Again, patience by Sassafras. Nice little jinky cut there by Boo Boo. Over the top, nice sort of bladey forehand by Boo Boo. Fakes that forehand. Wants a dump. Lucy's there across. Yeah. Oh, unlucky. She gets a hand to it, gets a finger to it, but it was just too far. I think she thought it was just angling in a bit more, but it sort of just held its line.
Opportunity for Hills to break here. This would be a big momentum shift for them.
Scramble with the disc. Across to Kai. Moving around the handlers. Back to Scammell, just a short pop pass. Back to Kai. Scammell, happy just moving around here, full width of the field. Back to Scammell, nice give and go, very active at this point. We have a lot of people willing to handle, which is great sign from Hills. Decides not to throw to Scammell there, wise option. Back now, Scammell comes back, pops through the cup, goes to the around. Oh, and that is some pinpoint accuracy by Chris Scammell there. That is some great offense by Hills. They'll be very happy to score that.
Hills break, 4-3.
First break.
It's important to get the first break of the point, especially after such a long grinding point for them last. They'll be pretty pleased that, one, they got the break, and two, they made fairly easy work of scoring on that.
Yeah, just a lot of mixture of great patience, great disc skills by many different players on that Hills team there. And then Chris Scammell has the vision to see that player in the end zone and just puts it perfectly. But great bid by the Sassafras player to make that a hard catch.
Well, let's see what Sassafras does here.
Let's see how that last point affects them. Whether they can just play their normal offense. They were playing a bit of a longer game in that last point, putting up a lot of hugs, and they weren't necessarily coming off. There's a few turns, so let's see if they persist with that strategy, or whether they go back to that more patient play that they exhibited in the first few points. Walsh with the pull. It's a nice backhand hanging pull. Hudson with the disc. Max Densham now on the O-line.
Looks like Hills are putting on his own.
Needs a Beck with the disc. Gibson goes, gets it back from Stenstrom. Some nice handler movement there by Beck. Across to Stenstrom. Young with the disc, back to Stenstrom. Nice piercing throw through the cup there. Young with the disc. Oh, unlucky. Tharian comes through, but just doesn't quite get enough on it. Hutto grabbed it back to Hudson.
Looked like a mid-thigh grab there.
Yeah, that's right. Across the Young, and there's the score. Fairly easy, again, offensive zone point there by Sassafras.
So Sassafras hold that point, but Hills are still up a break for 4-all. It's fairly nice weather conditions here to play Ultimate Frisbee. Temperature sitting around 20 degrees here. Mostly sunny. We had a bit of a rain shower earlier this morning. Humidity is about 47%, so it's a lot more humid than it was yesterday. It was fairly dry, but a lot hotter.
Timeout's been called. So both teams just taking another chance to take a breath, have a drink, reset their heads.
It also seems like both teams taking the opportunity to check on the children on the sideline. Both teams are having a lot of experienced players and, getting their youth into Ultimate from a very young age.
That's right. I hear that's the Hills team of 18 kids between them. So that's that goes well. Well, it's a good portent for the Hills future.
Yes, 18 kids. Give it 15 years. We'll see them here at Mixed Div 2, maybe here in Nelson Bay again.
Who knows? It might come around again. That's right.
We'll have to do a stock take and count how many kids are on Sassafras. If anyone knows, feel free to, get that intel to us in the commentary booth.
So timeout's been called. It's over.
There seems to be some discussion about half-time happening in the middle here. I heard something about tell the commentators, so once we know, we will pass that info on to you. It was just saying that at halftime, Hills will switch to black, so you may notice a change in uniform.
So obviously someone's having a bit of issue with the vision or differentiating between the two teams. Must say it's the rainbow colours of Sassafras. Perhaps that's confusing or similar. I guess if you combine all those colours, they might be white. So they're running really fast. Maybe they appear white. Again, break throw by Walsh. That's a feature of this early part of the game. Tharian with the disc. Dumps it back to the handler. Across to Scammell. Oh!
close hand there to Max Stenstrom. Doesn't quite get the block.
Kai back to Walsh. Across to Kai again. Back to Scammell. There's a high throw here. Oh, across. That's good vision by Chris Scammell there. Back to Tharian, just in front of the end zone. 3 meters in front of the end zone. Oh, and just a lot of good pivoting there by Tharian. Oh, the throw was into the end zone, but it's just outside the end zone. There we go, and there's the score. Just a regulation backhand throw there.
That's Cheryl Luhing to Chris Scammell. Cheryl apparently is carving it up this weekend, and you probably don't know, but she is nursing a pretty hefty corky. Apparently she got a knee into the thigh earlier this tournament, but you wouldn't know it in how she's carving it up out there.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem to be hampering her at all. Corkies can be pretty bad. One of those injuries that sort of doesn't seem so bad, but it's they can affect your movement.
Once she goes away, you can't be after, okay?
Chris Stevens just doing parenting duties there. You have to be multitasked these days if you're a maybe slightly older ultimate player.
You got to give it to the parents who can go out, play ultimate, have kids on the sideline. It's they're changing hats and having, I guess, both the mental capacity to make sure children are safe, and also then go and try and win a frisbee game.
Okay, here we go. Sassafras on offense. Hutto picks the disc up to Edie. Back to Hutto. Looks like it's just hard match defense here by Hills. Edie up the line. Cuts back, but Young's there. It's nice. Oh, Hutto just did enough there to put his defender off, so he had an easier time of catching.
Pick has been called.
Pick's been called.
And if you look on your screen, Gonzalez is free as a bird deep, so...
Oh, defender's catching up to her now. Hudson with the disc. Throws and around. Oh, just read and grabbed by Edie. Joyce to Beck. Back to Joyce. Oh, pop pass just out of the reach of the defender. Edie with the disc, just a bit high for Gonzalez. Oh, she just popped up slightly, and Gonzalez couldn't quite grab it. Quick pick up by Dow.
Opportunity for Hills to have their second break.
Oh, just out of the reach of Young there. Rocco with the disc. Throws to Dow. Throws that forehand. Where's the disc gone? Oh, Gonzalez trying to find it, but the both players didn't quite know where that disc was, I don't think.
Chris, I'm sensing a little bit of a momentum shift. Like, it felt like Sassafras was really in control and having some quick offensive points. But after that long grinding point, it seems like Hills, they won that point, went on to win the break, and Sassafras just don't seem to... Hills seem to have the momentum here.
That's right. Oh, big cross throw to Edie. It's just too far for her. That's a turn, and that's Hills are going to get this on right on their attacking end zone. This is a great opportunity to move 2 points to the good.
So it's coming in right on the end zone line.
So we've got Rocco or Young Ant picking the disc up. Right on the sideline, attacking end zone. Oh, good defense by Hudson there, shutting down Dow. Cross. Oh, injury, I think. Someone might have been stomped on. Is that Beck?
Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, it looks like she tripped on or got a calf cramp or rolled her ankle or something. There was no player collision there.
Good use of the hand signals, even though she must have been in a bit of pain. She was signaling to everyone that she was injured and and the play should have stopped. Okay, so Hills about 15 meters out of the attacking end zone. Oh, nice grab, one-handed by Dow there.
Wind has picked up.
Oh, it's popped up by the wind. Oh, but read amazingly well by the Hills player.
That's Rosalie Ash.
Good read.
I've got little love hearts between her and Aunt Dow, and 2 children. This was the intel that I was given earlier today.
Okay.
So that's the second break for Hills.
Yes, they'll be very happy with that. It's the replay here. The throw goes. It just pops up. I'm not sure who that was for.
Would you call that a honey pass, number 4, Aunt Dow to Rosalie Ash?
Well, that's what it ended up being. Definitely.
Was it intended? Perhaps not.
But the end result of all that is Hills are now up by 2, 6-4.
Let's see what Sassafras. What does Sassafras have to do to get back into the game?
Well, I think that's a bit of a mindset shift. They're obviously very comfortable playing against zone defense, but when Hills have played match defense on them, they just looked a bit rattled. Different sort of cutting patterns, and they've tried the long game. That hasn't quite worked out for them. Just a couple of errant throws. So let's see what they do here.
Let's get down there, Hill.
Stevens picking the disc up to Edie. Through to the middle to Stenstrom. Steps around, throws a big backhand. Initially read up. Oh, and I don't think the receiving player was expecting that initially. Fraser Wigney. Oh, there's a foul on the throw. It did look like there was a bit of contact as Stenstrom stepped out for that throw.
Let's just have a look at the replay here.
Oh, yes. You could see on that release that there was contact made by Kai, and that obviously affected the throw. That's what Stenstrom, why he called a foul. So that this comes back to Stenstrom. This time, Wigney comes under as a good option. Throws in Stevenson, but there is a pick. He'll go back to Wigney. One of the young juniors on the Sassafras team, and also the Spirit captain. Okay, across to Edie. Lorna Barr working hard as always. Across to Stenstrom, swings now across to Stevens. Stenstrom up the line. Good marking by Kai. Now Edie up the line. That's a great cut by Edie. Just came under and then across. And pinpoint throw. Fantastic. Just what you expect from Liz Edie.
Liz Edie to Kat Hine.
That is a great hold there by Sassafras. They needed that just to stop a bit of momentum shift.
Kat is recently a published author, so you may notice her book Hitch in all good bookstores. I'd encourage you to get around some of the ultimate authors in our ultimate community and check out, if you like a good road fiction novel, check out Hitch.
Road fiction, okay, great.
I'm sure Kat will even sign copies if you bring it along to the tournament.
Great, yeah, I'll keep an eye open for that one.
It was an important hold there for Sassafras.
That's right. If they'd have gone down another point, 3 points at this stage would have been a lot to come back from.
So Hills are 2 breaks up. The score is 5-6 Hills way.
Hudson with the disc. Ball goes up, inside out backhand. It's hanging nicely. Dow with the disc. Sends it upfield. Oh, too high. Oh, and no, doesn't quite grab. Oh, there's a call. I thought Hudson had that disc. He thought he had that disc.
You can see everybody waving their hands. That's the signal in Ultimate for that there is a call. When you see hands being waved around, looks like
Hudson's calling a strip. So it did look like Hudson had it, and it was just grabbed out of his hand by Walsh.
They're just asking whether they can look at the video footage here. It does look like he had.
I don't know whether he had control. That's that. Yeah. The key thing is if Hudson thought he had control of that, and before Walsh grabbed it. Only he really can tell that. Seeing it again here. Problem is that it looks like he's grabbed it here, but we just can't see whether he had control before Walsh had it. If they catch it at the same time and have control, the benefit of the doubt goes to the offensive player. I think that's what's going on here. Okay, so it's coming back in with Walsh. Did very well there to recover and grab that disc. Patient play here. Oh, great play there. Kristen Mortimer, great handling. Again to Mortimer, back to Dow. Just doing classic triangles here between the three players of Hills. Mortimer, nice active passing. Oh, just pops it up. Oh, I don't think Dow was expecting that throw. So he was a bit flat-footed, and it was just too far for him.
And just was the wrong spin. It bounced out of his hand.
Oh, and a run-through grab there by Hills. Mortimer with the disc. Right on the front of her attacking end zone. That's nice. Back to the handler. Back to Mortimer. Good defense by Gonzalez to Dow. Good hands. Oh, and then a fairly easy forehand throw into the end zone. Hills score 7-5.
That's the same combination again. Add Dow to Rosalie Ash.
That's right. I think it was more premeditated and planned that time. Great point there by Mortimer. She just sort of took control. Very dynamic, popping through, resetting as a handler. Nice, low, piercing throws.
Just seeing the grab here, just gets in front of the disc and manages to pluck it out of the air before the Sassafras player. So I think the score is 7-5. Hills have, this is Hills' third break.
That's right, so Hills will be looking to try and convert this. The D line, if they can get the D and then score this, they will take half 8-5, and that'll be a huge psychological boost for them going into half. Sassafras will be looking to just a hold, get back on defense, and try and get back on parity. Here we go, Scammell with the pull. Stevens picking the disc up to Edie. Back to Stevens. Good downfield defense here by Hills, shutting down a lot of those downfield options. Nice break. Oh, good leap by Stenstrom. Full extension across to Lorna Barr. Good hands under pressure. Now back to Stevens. Back to the handlers. Across to Edie.
Joyce has the disc.
Joyce with the disc. Stenstrom now through the middle. Oh, throws it inside out. Great vision there by Stenstrom. Throws it across the end zone to Lorna. Oh, under pressure. Oh, and just enough pressure by two Hills players, causing a bit of uncertainty from Barr.
Just looks like they knocked it just out in front of her.
Oh, great bid there by Stenstrom. Doesn't quite get it. Kai with the disc, Hills on offense. Oh, good grab by the long limbs of Scammell. Throws it long. Contest, here we go. Oh, I thought he had the D, but he didn't quite get there. Great grab by the Hills player. They take half 8-5.
What a grab. He manages to get the rebound off the Sassafras player there.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the Sassafras player got a hand on that, but fantastic grab there. By the Hills player. Wow.
Sassafras player did great to get down there. We'll might see this in the block here again. Just tipped out of Lorna's
really good avoiding of contact there, but both the Hills players.
Disc goes up, and we can see here. Does he get the touch? Yep, he gets the touch, and 22 just pulls it down anyway.
Just rolled off his fingers, I think. He didn't quite get enough on it.
So we've just had a notification that both teams will be switching jerseys after half time. So, you know, we might see a renewed Sassafras come out.
That's right. I mean, some players play better with fresh uniforms. Gives them a bit of extra va-va-voom. So we'll see what the alternates are for both these teams.
So for all those watching at home, go and grab a cup of tea, grab a coffee, grab some water, take a break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes for the second half of the bronze medal match of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships Division 2 here in Nelson Bay. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championship Division 2, held here in beautiful Nelson Bay. It's a lovely 20 degrees, humidity sitting at about 40%, and it's pretty still at the moment, but we've had a few gusts of wind come through.
So the biggest thing that happened in half-time there was that both teams have now switched jerseys. So Hills are now playing in a dark colour, and Sassafras have decided to go for their alternate light jersey. So they're still playing in white, but they've reduced the amount of rainbow multicolouredness on their shirts. There's still a bit across their chests, but they are now predominantly in white. So Sassafras with the pull. Here we go. Hudson with the pull. Hills are up 8-5. Some nice basic, fundamental throwing here. Good play. Walsh getting this back. Oh, great grab by Walsh. Had to do a lot there. Disc was fading away. Had to lay out. Nice backhand around. And a quick throw up the line, and that is fairly regulation ultimate. Hills will be happy that they came out pretty strong and just converted fairly easily 9-5.
That's a hold for Hills. They're 3 breaks up. 9-5. What does Sassafras need to do to get back into the game?
They need to put a bit more pressure, I think, on defense, on that match defense. They've got the youth, they've got the experience. They just need to just work at that extra bit harder to shut down a few options and make those first options harder and make some of the throws harder. They did pretty well with causing the Hills handlers a bit of uncertainty there, but Walsh just athletic enough to get down and grab that dump pass.
Sassafras coming out on O here. In the half-time, we did do a total tally count. They've got 4 kids here on the sideline and 6 in total.
Okay.
Compared to Hills 18.
Wow. Pull goes up by Dow. Bit of a rolling end to that pull. Stevens chases it up, throws to Stenstrom. Bit of a zone, loose zone being played here.
Wind has picked up. It's a bit gusty.
Stenstrom with the disc across to Stevens. Throws the break throw. Sanger. Stevens clears out. Oh, and just a drop there. I think he lost his footing before he grabbed that, and that affected the catch. Let's see if Hills can put this one in. Kai with the disc now. Throws a nice backhand throw into the end zone, and that is great pinpoint. Great bid there by the Sassafras player, but just too far behind the player, and the throw was just good enough to lead that player out in front for the score. That is now Hills 10, Sassafras 5.
That's their 4th break here for Hills.
Hills really are just cranking out that pressure on defense, just causing a bit of uncertainty and punishing the Sassafras offensive line when they get that turn.
It seems there was a really long point in the first half that went for maybe 10-15 minutes, and Hills came away from that, and there really has been a momentum shift from that.
That's right. I think that was the watershed of the game so far. Let's see if we can get another turning point, or whether Hills can just be patient and take this win. A lot of work to do for Sassafras. They're going to have to put a lot of work in on defense, physically, and a bit of mental work on offense just to put that disc in. Okay, Edie with the picking up the pull here, sends it to Stenstrom. Young makes a nice cut. Backhand break around to Stenstrom. Dump back to Hudson. Making it very hard, the Hills players upfield with that great defense. They're just taking out unders.
Looked like they were playing a little bit of a zone and switched to match.
Yes.
Still sticking with the zone.
Oh, and a great block. Oh no, but Hudson with to fix up the scraps. So Stenstrom went for the big hug, Tharian with the block, and Hudson just finds where that disc rebounded. Now Stenstrom around, nice leading throw around, here we go. Now they're up, now they're away. Hudson with the disc into Young, back to Hudson. Looks off Stenstrom, back to Edie. Now they're content to play more conservative play. Oh, that's a blade from Stenstrom. Very high risk with Dowell in the end zone there. I'm not sure that was the option he should have thrown. Let's see if Hills can punish Sassafras once again. On the sideline here, big fake. Oh, just sees Tharian and acres of space there. Back into the middle. Decides against good holstering that throw. I think that throw was would have been difficult into the end zone. Scammell with the throw into the end zone. Oh, it's just the vision. And there we go. Rocco with the score. That is now 11-5 to Sassafras. They've got on a big run here, Hills, and it's broken this game wide apart.
It has. That offense just made it look really easy. They just brought it down. That score seemed really easy here from the sideline. And the big hammer that Max threw, you know, they're really pressuring the throw that Max could only see that throw and felt that he needed to do that.
Oh, it was the frustrating thing, I think, for Sassafras in that point was they had a couple of rebounds and a lucky grab by Hudson off that rebound, and they got it through. They then were away. Then they put it back to nice handle movement and just had a bit of red line fever there, looking to score earlier than they perhaps should have.
So it looks like a timeout has been called. We can just compare the different attitudes of the different timeout circles at the moment. Hills seem a lot more relaxed, big smiles on their face, a few hugs going around, congratulating some of the players on the block. Sassafras probably just having a word as to what they can do next. They started off this game really strong.
Yeah, I think there's just been just some loose offense being played at key moments by Sassafras. That's the only difference, I think. And just a bit of pressure by Hills. They've been playing a sort of a loose zone, taking away a lot of those upfield cuts by playing under their players, both on match and switching and zone play. And that's rattled Sassafras a little bit.
We've got some players coming in now. It looks like some of the other games have finished. So I think we've got Ikigai, another team from Canberra, coming along to support Sassafras. So let's see if a bit more of a sideline changes the momentum.
So Sassafras have got to not worry about what's happened before, not worrying about what's happening in the future. This line must score this point. Key, they have to convert on offense, stop the run, and get some pressure on defense.
It's getting a bit windy. Wind is sort of going left to right of the screen.
Stenstrom, the disc to Stevens. Back to Stenstrom. Back to Stevens, to Edie. There we go, pops through it to Stevens. Oh, great grab by Edie. Hind with the disc, Sanger. Lots of small ball being played here by Sassafras. Edie in the middle, in the right place at the right time. Lorna Barr open. Back to Stenstrom. Stevens trying to signal where he wants Stenstrom. Now with their away. Stenstrom through the middle. For the Hind. Back to Stenstrom. Oh, great grab by Stevens. Just keeps his foot in. He knew exactly where his foot was. Round throw. Oh, just flying through there. Hills player just in front of Barr. Fantastic D. Putting his body on the line. Oh.
So close, Sassafras. They worked it so patiently up the field and just looks... Antdale comes out of nowhere and just gets that block in front of Lorna. No contact initiated. Beautiful, beautiful block.
And I don't think Stevens would not have seen that Hills defender coming through when he threw that.
And I think that the disc was caught by the audience as well.
Oh, that is a cheap turnover by... Oh, there we go. And just punished by Sassafras. That they'll be very relieved to have scored that one. They really needed that score.
Sassafras, 6-11 in this bronze medal match. They hold.
They've got to do a lot of digging upwards now, Sassafras. They've got the experience. They've got the athleticism. They've got the skills. It's just going to take a lot of willpower. And you see that great grab by Stevens there. And the replay, oh, it just makes up a lot of ground there down. Oh, and a great catch by the audience member.
Beautiful there.
Straight to her. There we go.
Get her on an ultimate field.
That's right. Stenstrom with the score there.
So this is the first time that Sassafras are coming out on defense in this half?
For a long time, that's right. It's key for them now to put on a lot of pressure. Let's see what they put on.
4 women, 3 men. score is 6-11 in the bronze medal match.
Okay, so Wigney with the pull. Oh, it just lands out.
Bricks called by Scammell.
So Chris Scammell will be bringing this disc in at the brick mark, about 18 meters in front of their defensive end zone. So it's like a match defense here by Sassafras. Back to Walsh. Nice. Oh, the great bit on the break side there for Joyce. Ah, another great grab. By Hudson, here we go. Back to Walsh. That's a great grab by Hudson. Back to Amanda Hudson. Scammell on the end is there. Just working on the open side. They just got to clamp down a bit better, Sassafras. Stop those first options. Walsh with the disc. Nice around by Walsh. As a pick has been called upfield.
Some great pressure here from Sassafras. They're forcing a lot of passes here from Hills.
That's right. Disc is in. Nice break throw. Oh, to Scammell. Must be close to the attacking end zone now. McCalla wants a dump. Yes, Walsh is there. Good pressure downfield by Sassafras defenders. Oh, and there's just a lot of... You could see that coming. It was just a lot of pressure taking away those first and second options, causing the turn. Hudson with the disc. Here we go. Up the field. Can Sassafras convert this? Back across to Hudson, just a bit high. Oh, a great grab by Hudson. Just reads him just a bit quicker. Scammell, big throw goes up. The contest did it. Oh, it just faded back across to the near side, which favoured the Hills player.
Just needed a little bit more shape on that disc, didn't you?
Yeah. Can Sassafras get the same pressure? Oh, big throw. That's D, just a little bit too low there, that huck, and read well by Young. Gonzalez comes across. Now she gets it. Oh, there's a pick, signaling a pick. Disc is coming in now, here we go. Gonzalez with the disc. Throws the huck. Where's this going? Defense. Yes, defensive player always had advantage there. Positioned herself between the receiving player and the disc. So disc will come in with Chris Scammell from Hills.
This is an important point for Sassafras.
Fakes the big hug. Oh, another low throw. There's a few tired throws here. Players just getting maybe a bit mentally tired and not quite as clinical as they were in the first half. Let's see what Hudson does here. Okay, just content to move amongst the handlers to Young. Hudson makes it nice. The handler cut up the line. Now throws the backhand to Joyce. Oh, just rebounds off her hip almost.
Yeah, just didn't get those hands close enough. Again, fatigue starting to play a bit of a role here in these points. Points seem to be having a bit more of a, easy drops, turnovers.
That's to be expected. Long tournament. This has been a long game. Some very hard-fought points. Let's see if Sassafras have got anything in the legs on defense here. Some great shutdown play upfield by Sassafras players. Scammell with a disc. Wants to throw it. Yes, we go. A leading pass there upfield to Walsh. There's a call. Waving hands, calling a disc, an errant disc on the field.
For those watching at home, just watch how Scammell moves around the mark. He really is opening up the field by just doing a couple of fakes here and there, and getting whatever throw he wants from there.
It's good balance. It's good flexibility, and really does open up more throwing lanes when you can pivot around like that. Hills on offense. Good dump defense there, but they get it out, Hills. Oh, the Hutt goes up. Oh, just sort of bladed out of the hand and easy to defend by Sassafras. Okay, so again, we're getting an important point here. This is an important point for both teams.
Hills are looking deep. It paid off for them for the first half, but it seems like they're getting quite a few turns here of just perhaps tired throws, execution errors, just not coming off as well as they were.
Okay, Hudson up the line. Lorna Barr, open as always, working hard, throws it up, and just squeezed it a bit much. There was a sort of poachy Hills player in the lane there, and that put off the Sassafras player. Scamble with the disc. Okay, we've got a backhand Hutt floating. It's being read extremely well by the Hills player, and then just throws the forehand into the end zone with no fear whatsoever.
Cheryl Lu Hing.
Again, Cheryl, amazing play. Good read and a great throw.
Cheryl Lu Hing to Stephen Rocco.
That is now 12-6. Gender being signalled as 4 women and 3 men for both teams now.
Sassafras, 6 points, Hills 12.
They'll be disappointed with that Sassafras again. They had the disc a couple of times and just squeezing things a bit too much. That's a bit of pressure by Hills and perhaps some tired legs, tired minds by Sassafras to be expected. And Hills take that point.
It's this long shot that they get up that opens up the field for them. Every time that comes off, they score off that long shot.
They are looking to punish Sassafras off those long throws. That's right. Okay, again, nothing much has changed. Sassafras just have to hold here and put pressure on defense. It's getting harder. We're getting towards the end of the game, and Hills only need 3 points to take this game out. Okay, Dow with the disc. Pulls to Stevens, just lands in. Good read by Stevens across to the centre of the field to Stenstrom. Oh, it's a nice throw to Hind. Another break throw. Oh, Edie just out of reach. She did amazingly to get a hand to it.
How did she get her hand to it?
Okay, Hills now on offense with Dow.
You can see a couple of players just streaming deep whenever that disc gets into Dow's hands.
Yeah, they know he's a key thrower. Good dump defense on Stenstrom. Goes up, and just Dow's just too tall, not in the end zone, but grabs it and just throws an easy backhand throw for the score. That is, again, they'd just be so happy with that Hills just to convert on offense.
Another break.
Yeah.
So that brings Hills up to 13, Sassafras 6. 2 points away from that dirty gold medal.
A bronze medal, that's all right.
Hills last year came 13th at Div 2 Nationals here in Nelson Bay, and in 2007 came 5th. So this is their just even qualifying for this game is their best result in the last couple of years.
That's right. I'll be very happy with how they're going so far.
And they've been having a chat to them before. They were saying that they have been running some school holiday camps, and they got 26 youngsters along to school holiday camp. So, you know, hopefully we'll see a couple of those out here in the next couple of years.
That's right. Okay, so the equation's simple for Hills now. All they've got to do is score 2 more points. They're going to try and want to do it quickly on this D-line. Sassafras again, just got to score those O-lines, O points, put some pressure on D and hope they can go on a big run. Oh, and just a bit of over-eagerness there by Stevens throwing it at Hudson. Wasn't quite aware of it, flat-footed, and the Hills player just comes through with a run-through block. They are in a purple patch at the moment, Hills. They can't do anything wrong. Throw by Scammer into the end zone. Just a bit high, yeah, and it just goes over the head of the Hills player. Pressured by Stenstrom there, does enough to force the D. Stenstrom with the disc, throws it across to Stevens. Back to Stenstrom. Edie through the middle, back to Stenstrom. Just working around the handlers, Popper's here, through to Edie. Back to Stevens, Nice fake to Edie, back to Stenstrom. Stevens with the disc. Oh, and there's a great block by Kai. Quick hand movement, just got a hand to that, just got a block there. Okay, throw goes up. Oh,
Gonzalez gets a bit of body there.
I think the call was the grab was stand. Good bid by Gonzalez. Bit of, you wouldn't have seen where the body of that player was. Now, Stephen, Scammell in the end zone. Oh, just an easy pop through. Oh, Hills absolutely streaking away, 14-6.
Cheryl Luhing definitely carving it up. I think that's her second or third goal for the game today.
She's been a very important, integral part of the Hills play in this second half particularly.
Sassafras 6, Hills 14. Gender is 3 men. Hills will be starting on defense. Can Sassafras hold this point? Well, I guess they need to if they want to play any more Frisbee this weekend.
That's right, they have to.
Hills will be pretty eager to win this point. Get those medals around their neck. And I mean, they're looking good. They just need to keep playing the Frisbee that they've been playing.
That's right. Nothing needs to be changed for them. All right, let's see what Sassafras have got. Ball's going up by Dowell. Playing a lot of points in this second half. Dowell. Okay, the ball goes out. Sanger signals a brick. Okay, so Sanger bringing the disc in on the brick mark here. Throws it backhand around Joyce. Back to Sanger. Now forehand huck. Oh, Dow just reads that so well. Gets his body in the way.
It's 2-on-1.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a streaking Joe Tharian deep. Doesn't quite come off though. Dow with a disc. A lot of space here now for the Hills players. Oh, just too far, but Tharian comes back and for the scraps, grabs that good heads-up play by Tharian. Throws the backhand around to the end zone. Oh, there we go. That is the score, and that is the game. Hills win 15-6 and take the bronze medal.
Joanne McKellar for the winning goal. I think she's one of the sometimes behind the camera at Ulti TV here, but instead she wins the match for Hills.
Oh, great play by Hills. They came out of that second half just so strongly and just didn't give Sassafras a sniff, basically, in that second half. Sassafras were, trying their hardest, moving it around, trying to use their experience and their throwing power, but just some great defensive pressure and strategy from Hills, taking away both those long throws and also or making the long throws harder and taking away those unders, which really shut down the offensive work by Sassafras.
Sassafras also looks like they lost Lucy Stevenson as well in that second half. So, relying on a few less players to work that disc would have been a bit fatiguing, and I'm sure that they'll be disappointed with that result today.
So there we go. Hills win the game and take the bronze medal.
Congratulations to Hills. Definitely an improvement on their 13th place in 2008 and 5th place in 2017. I think that's a huge achievement for their club, especially as to what they are doing in running the tournament and all their development in Sydney with youth development. That's us signing out from the
live stream commentary.
See ya.